Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, Yavuz. It's really an honor and pleasure to be with you, and I thank you for the invitation. Also, my thanks and appreciation goes to your team. As you rightly said, the plastic is a versatile product that had been successfully developed several applications. And it's, in a sense, a victim of its own success, because now we see the reputation of the plastic industry being tarnished by the littering, which had created significant negative reputation. And it's our responsibility as a producer really to come up with solution, to those challenges. And with those challenges, I see opportunities also in the sustainability, in the recycling, and I hope the Turkish colleagues also partner with our players in our region, because there is a drive now toward developing regulations related to plastic waste management. Even the sovereign funds had recently set a fund, 150 million Saudi riyal, which is equivalent to 40 billion, not million, dollar, with BlackRock investment, the leading investment private equity fund in the US, to develop, the untapped potential of the plastic recycling in our region. Without going further into detail, let me give you a background about the plastic. All of you are aware, being a plastic producer, that the plastic application had been, expanding significantly over the years. Since the mid-50s, when the first polyethylene was produced, there had been an exponential growth in the production of plastic. As illustrated in this slide, it is linked to the population growth, but it is much higher in terms of the production related to the per capita consumption of plastic, which has increased significantly over the 50 years or so. But as you can see, the production has increased significantly, 25-fold over the 50 years. Now let me zoom into the region, our region, the Arabian Gulf region. We had become a global hub for the production of petrochemical and plastic in particulars. Over the past 4 years or so, since the launch of the first plastic production facility in Qatar in 1982, we had been on an exponential expansion drive. The compounded annual growth rate is slightly less than 10%, double digit, the second highest after China. Currently, we produce over 150 million tons of petrochemicals. The lion's share is in Saudi Arabia, accounting for 74% of the total production of petrochemical, including plastic. And throughout the region, there had been a significant growth in the production capacity over the past decades. As a result, our global position has been steadily growing, and we became, as outlined, a global hub for the production of key petrochemicals. This is the top 10 chemicals product produced in the region, and our global share, for instance, it ranged between 6% to 17-18%. We produce 10% of ethylene, of the global ethylene production. In the linear low density, we produce close to 17%, high density polyethylene 5%, ethylene glycol is the highest, 19%. So in every 5 ton produced of ethylene glycol, 1 ton is produced in our region, and the potential is also positive for significant growth in the future. We are an export-oriented industry. We export over 80% of our output because of the small size of the market, and Turkey is the fourth largest export destination for our industry, accounting for 6% of the total. And the potential again here is significantly large, given the proximity of Turkey to our region, as well as the close tie between our countries and Turkey. On the polymer, zooming into the polymer account for 18% or closely 19% of the total petrochemical output in our region. In terms of volume, in terms of value, it accounts for 30%. Currently, we produce over 28 million tons. Again, the lion's share of the production of polymers is in Saudi Arabia, accounting for close to 70% of the total polymer production in our region. The forecast for the polymer production is to grow. There had been, due to the pandemic, there had been some issues and delay in the expansion, but we see many projects are reviving, and we expect by 2025 the total output will be close to 33 million ton, adding 5 million ton to current product portfolio. In terms of the share, we have maintained a global share of 8 to 9% over the year. Largely, this is the derivatives of ethylene, high density, low density, and linear low. With polypropylenes, the polyolefin account for 85% of the total. The rest are other polymers. In terms of the bilateral, I'm really keen, and representing this regional industry, I'm keen to see more ties forged between our region and Turkey. There is a complementarity, in my opinion. Here is one of the global hub for the production of converted plastic products, and we are a major hub for the production of resin, the polymers. So I see all the elements for success for a closer tie between Turkey and our region. At present, as per the statistics, Turkey is a net importer of polymers, and the value of the polymer import in Turkey is in excess of $15 billion. The share of the GCC, the Gulf region, is only 13%. And in my opinion, we need to double this. We need to work with PAGEV and other partners here to double this, because there is, as I said, there is a good value in a closer collaboration between Turkey and the GCC. What does this represent? The share of Turkey exports, it's a very small, minor. It's 5.5%. The majority of our products are destined to China, India, and Southeast Asia. Whereas, here with the close proximity, I see a potential for, but again, there are some obstacles, and I'm glad His Excellency, the Deputy Minister of Finance, is here to hear our perspective or position. We see some obstacles, some custom duties. We are keen to have an FTA, free trade agreement, with President Erdogan when he signed in Bahrain a couple of years back. An agreement with the region to have a reform on economic, cultural, and other areas. But when it comes to enforcement, we did not really see anything materializing. So we're hopeful that there will be some action that will be of mutual benefit, for the converters here in this part of the world and our suppliers. This is a slide which highlights the composition of the polymer exports from our region to Turkey. There had been a good growth, 7.2 compounded annual growth rate over the past decades. And we see that this could be even grow further in the coming year, reaching with the current rate, it will be 2.2 billion, growing from 1.9 billion. This is modest in my opinion. We would like to see more. So lack of trade agreement, in our opinion, is one of the obstacles. The taxes on the Turkish, borders, that is also another burden. And in our opinion, that will make, the products delivered to the converter even more expensive. So they lose their competitiveness, their global competitiveness. The converter in Turkey had successfully developed a good reputation for, producing and exporting converted plastic products throughout the region, our region as well as overseas. So when you deliver the polymer product or the resin at a lower prices, that will be beneficial to the converters, to the industry, and it will create more value to the economy as well as create more job opportunities for the Turkish population here in this part of the world. So in a nutshell, I see an excellent complementarity between our region and Turkey, and we would like to see investment, from the conversion industry in our region, specifically in the recycling. This is a great potential. Also, we would like to see more investment from our region in Turkey in partnership with the key players that could also be of mutual benefit. But that really requires some change in the regulation, an FTA to be signed. If the FTA is going to take a while, then we would like to also the authorities here to consider the preferred partners agreement that can exclude or exempt some of the export from our region to Turkey. So with this, I'd like to once again thank my good friend Yavuz. Thank you all for your attention, and we look forward to see a closer partnership between Turkey and our region. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.